Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back on the test server and back in doomed Metropolis. So in this video I'm just going to be testing basically the daily routine. So this is after you've done the starter mission. And this is what every day is going to be like for this event. And probably every day that you feel like playing this, since it's a permanent addition to the game. So this is what we have for the Doomed Metropolis zone if you pick up all the dailies. So this is basically all the parts of the starter mission, except that you get to do them all at once. So you don't have to keep going back to this zone, the base camp. And since they're all in the same area, you could kind of do them all at once. However, the one you should do first is this one here, Infection Protection, because that's the form change one. So you kind of want to do that one, get rid of the suit, and then do the others. Because like if you do the others first, you're going to have to come back and get the suit. And I think they all overlap. I mean, they might be off by a little bit, but we'll see. And we could still do the tasks where we're picking up.
Nobody said this job would be easy, but it's a heck of a lot easier with heroes like you.
I make this superhero thing look good.
It's just that I don't want to do the combat with the form change, because it's very limited. In fact, I don't even know if this thing does damage. I might just have to do weapon damage. But I guess as I'm doing this, I could talk about the death of Superman in general. Oh, there's a bad guy. We don't want to do that one. So yeah, I was wondering how they were going to present this. Because if you follow all the dialogue in the game, the death of Superman events as we knew the original to be from the 90s had already occurred. Like it's already acknowledged. Otherwise we wouldn't have a Doomsday in the game in Smallville. And obviously there's Steel and there's Superboy already, and those two characters are products of the death of Superman. Whoa, the aggro distance is crazy. I mean, those guys were across the street. Okay, the spray does do damage, and unfortunately these guys don't do too much damage. But I guess the difficulty of this is like event level. This is not a DLC, so it's not going to be super hard, since it's only like, you know, it's just one set of content. There's no like elite, normal, and event. So it's basically going to be event level for the general public.
Thank you, friend. I think I can make it back to medical on
So I originally thought when they were going to do this, I thought it was going to be like a flashback type thing. Going back to the classic death of Superman. But the only thing is the cast is different. Like, we don't have the same characters in DCUO that were originally in the comic. The Justice League was a very different makeup. Yeah, the confusing thing about these quests being mixed up is, like, those mists are designated by red dots just like the enemies are. So it's hard to find you know, fly around and find the right ones. And this is really annoying to do in the form change. Yeah, so some of the notable characters missing are like ice, you know, we have fire but we don't have ice. Oh, and that's Doomsday. And we have Booster Gold but not Blue Beetle. There was a Supergirl was different. It wasn't Kara Zor-El. It was like Matrix Supergirl, the shapeshifter. Guy Gardner wasn't a Green Lantern. At the time of the death of Superman, he was just Guy Gardner, and he had Sinestro's yellow ring at the time.
Thanks. I'm ready to get back.
And the other thing to throw into the mix was I was wondering if they were going to go with the Justice League War version of the death of Superman, because there's a new movie coming out. There was already a Death of Superman animation, but they're doing another one, like with a different cast. Oh wait, am I done with this form change thing?
My whole body feels like it's on fire.
Guess so. So with them rewriting it, I thought maybe DCUO would just kind of do that and rewrite it as well. But I still thought it was going to be a flashback just with a different cast. Because if you look at the trailer of the Justice League War Universe version of Death of Superman, they're using like the A-list Justice League to fight Doomsday.
Thanks for stopping the help.
Because the original, it was basically like a B-list. Wonder Woman was not part of it. Batman was not part of it. But what we actually see here, what we're playing right now, this is taking place in DCUO present day, meaning that it's like pretty much after the last DLC, so it's after all of that Brainiac stuff in the beginning of the game. And you know what, I should be highlighting another quest since this one is done. Okay, so there's a little bit of difference in the zones. They don't totally overlap. Oh no, wait, that one says return Starlab security also. Infection protection. Okay, this is the weekly counter for 175. And the pacing is not that good. Because as you can see, we didn't hit a reset quite yet. No, maybe we did. When did we get this content? No, we got this on Friday. So we didn't hit a reset yet. Collect intel off LexCorp agents. I only got 8 of those? But that's horrible pacing, considering that I did the starter mission. And now we're probably halfway through the dailies. 175.
I was down, but I'm not out. Thanks to you. I gotta get back out there and help those guys.
You know, 8 out of 175 and not forcing this. This is probably the worst paced weekly counter that we've ever had. Like, so far I would say Riddled with Crime was the worst, with 333. Because if you did those natural, you would fall short by about 20 per day. The best paced were, I would say, Amazon Fury 3
seems to be helping.
and Earth 3. Like, if you just did the daily missions there, you would only have to make up a little bit to just be on pace to get that weekly.
What did you give me?
because a lot of these dailies in this
I'm
zone,
not sure who you
they're
are.
just like interactions. You're not actually fighting. So I guess we're just supposed to take out the LexCorp security guys whenever you run across them. But let's see. I don't think it's a kill count though. We had to interact. Oh no, wait, it is automatic. Yeah, because the counter went up to 12.
I knew I should have run the other way when I saw that monster fighting Superman.
Alright, so what I'd like to do is just go through a bunch of these, and you want to see that it says return to Star Lab security. Just to make sure it's done. And then we've got the weekly. What is this one? Oh, okay. I had to roll over it. Okay, so that was pretty quick.
A number of my operatives have already reported in. Thanks for the assist.
Okay, so Captain Hyde gives you a box. I just want to pay attention to which ones give you
You
boxes.
collecting these samples will have the dual
That's
purpose
another
of
box.
keeping
Maybe they all do.
There are still
Oh,
more
yeah.
people infected by the Doomsday Spore.
And they each give you the probiotic
Our
for the
guys are
Doomsday
already
fight.
reporting in that LexCorp's numbers are dwindling.
Okay, so this is a very generous daily set. Let's see what's inside. Okay, let's see. That's a collection item. Alright, so these are collection items. They're not gear. That would be crazy if all of these were like gear and base items. Okay, that makes more sense. And then once the pointer is done, you can pick up the daily bounties separately. So I guess you can do this in any order, because before you had, like when you had the starter mission, you had to do all those parts and then you got this
Doomsday
one.
is raging through the city and Superman can't stop him alone. Please, help him defeat that monster. Reports say that Star Labs has some sort of probiotic counteragent which should let you get close to Doomsday.
And you know what's weird? Like when you go over to the Daily Planet, you have this like portal to return to the mission hub. That's literally like 1 block away. So look, that's a Daily Planet right there. I don't know, maybe that makes more sense for the villain side. I haven't tried that yet, so it's possible the villain side, the two parts are like far from each other. But on the hero side, it's like 1 block away. Yeah, so what I was saying before, this whole thing actually takes place, like it's not a flashback, it's part of present day in DCUO. So that makes it a little bit weird when you think about it.
It's over for you.
Because, you know, if this turns out in a similar way where Superman ends up dying in the finale, or maybe he dies in the second part and comes back in the finale, it's just a little bit weird when you take a look at the entire picture of the universe, where it already happened once and then it's about to happen again, like history repeating itself. So it's weird in that sense if it plays out the same way. But if this is just like a Death of Superman celebration, maybe he doesn't die in this because we're helping him. I mean, I wouldn't want that to play out the same exact way, because that would just be weird and cheesy. And of course predictable, because everyone knows the story already. So right now I'm very curious about the second and third parts. I like the feel of this first part. I mean, the dailies are going to be kind of boring, but the Doomsday fight, I think, is set up very well, because you get a section of Metropolis that's basically what the comic book battle was. It was just Doomsday beating up the Justice League in a different part of town for each comic issue. So you do kind of get that feel because he's wandering around. He's not always in the same place, and he's moving around the entire zone that we have access to. So yeah, just definitely curious about the second part. Will they make the death in the second part, or maybe Superman gets disabled in the second part and comes back in the third? He obviously has to come back for DCUO to continue on. So if he dies, it's not going to be for long. But one, I'm wondering if there's some kind of twist to it, and two, does the villain side play out the same way? Because on the villain side, you're probably, I mean, they're going to make you fight Doomsday, or are they? Or maybe you fight Superman when you're on the villain side. So that, I don't know, that should be interesting. I'll probably make my next playthrough on the villain side. I did set up my character there, so we'll have to see that. But anyway, let me know what you expected this content to be first, and how you think it's going to play out now that you've seen the starter missions and the dailies. Alright, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching.